Welcome, everybody. Coach Ronald Hunt, and this is my 3-day habit stacking challenge. I'm so excited that you're here. But if you're in a car, because I know some of you are going to want to watch the replay. This is kind of interactive, and that's the way I run all of my workshops. But this one especially, I'm trying some new things. I'm building in some get it done during the session rather than just giving you the challenge of doing it tonight, because I want you to get started. The best way to learn something is to write it down, apply it, and then teach it. This is all science-based. All of my teaching, all of my coaching is science-based, all trial and error over 63 years of my life. I had a lot of changes to make in my life, and if I can save you some of them or give you some of the things that I did that will save you time, you're going to find some value in it. This is a quick win training. You will learn things today that will change your life today if you incorporate them. That is the short game. There's a long game. I'm going to recommend a book or two for you along the way to read or listen to following this training. The sooner that you realize that you can get 1% better every day, the sooner you have broken the shackles that have held you back so far. Cool? Cool. I'll drop these links in the chat. They are not affiliate links. In some of the other trainings that I give, there are affiliate links. I always hold up my hand and let you know. An affiliate link means, for example, if I sell something on Amazon, someone's book, maybe they'll give me 50 cents. I'm not doing that today. But when I do that, or if you do that, you should let your customers know up front. It's the ethical thing to do. Who is ready to get started? You should have your workbook in front of you so we can go through the course together. But if not, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to grab some blank copier paper, a notebook, something like that, a pen, a pencil, your kids' crayons. I've seen it all. What is a habit? A habit is something we do all the time. Whether you may or not know this, over 87% of all habits are automatic, programmed into our subconscious, usually before the age of 5. Now, who wants to hold up their hand? Did some of the things that you learned before the age of 5 serve you exceptionally well before the age of 10? Not crossing the street before looking both ways. Good habit. Now, when you get to be a little bit older and you take a trip to New York City and a bus is coming along and there's a red light and you think you can cross the street, think again. Buses and taxis do not stop for red lights in New York City all the time. So you have to adjust these rules. Only cross on the green light in New York City, that will get you run over on a street corner. Somebody behind you will be moving you along. So again, great rule at an early age. And that rule was a safety rule. And safety rules, don't touch the stove. We've all heard that. Some of us learned it the hard way. Okay. I'm one of those. But having those rules served us well when we were young. But I see people in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, still doing things automatically that their mom, their coach, their dad, their older brother taught them when they were very young, that served them then, but do not serve them now. We need to have a bigger vision of our automatic responses, and that's what the habit stacking workshop is all about. So it takes between 14 and 82 days to change a habit. I'm pretty sure some of you have heard that number before, but I'm going to say that if you work on them actively, you can change a habit immediately and just reinforce it. So reinforcing a really good habit immediately, and then the repetition over the next 2 weeks, the 14 days, as it takes, it will reinforce it. So you actually change the habit if you have the mindset on day one, but the continuation of the practice of it shows your progress and it becomes your new normal. So the first book recommendation is going to be James Clear. And James Clear is one of those famous authors that if you don't know him, you will know him, you should know him. He's got audio books, he's got regular books, he's got all sorts of workbooks around his atomic habit principles. And basically, he is a fan of habit stacking. I am a fan of habit stacking. And as we get into day one here, we're going to show you why habits can build on each other. We'll talk about the 1% method. And the 1% method is to become 1% better today. And then remember to do this tomorrow and add in something else. And all of a sudden, we're a pretty cool person in a very short period of time. So I love, love, love doing that. So all 3 days of this training, we are going to identify our good habits and our bad habits. But we're going to spend a little bit more time on our bad habits because our good habits are pretty healthy for us, but our bad habits, not so much. So our bad habits always start with mindset. And the mindset journey to change a habit starts with you. And we are going to show you how to do that in just a few minutes here. Is everybody on board with this? Awesome. I want you to clear your mind for 30 seconds. And this is the woo-woo part. And the only woo-woo parts that I bring in my trainings are the ones that work. So I hear some of you saying to yourselves, I've tried to meditate. I've heard that. I've heard that many times in my life. Once I figured out that we can have a few habits to learn how to meditate and stop giving it a name and stop saying we can do it, we are on the road to meditation. Meditation will change your life. I guarantee it. I've seen it in clients. I've seen it in students. It's just one of those small things where we're readjusting our day for a couple minutes of silence or introspection. And we all have more time than we think. We're going to talk about that on day 2 mostly. So to breathe. I can breathe. Can you breathe in through your nose? I call this intentional nasal breathing, and there is science behind it. Once we start breathing more through our nose and less through our mouth, we have healthier psychological and physical reactions. It's the way we should be breathing. We do not do that as Americans. There are many reasons. That is a different course. So we're going to breathe in on a count of 4. Ready? Hold it for 4 seconds. Breathe out through your nose for 4. Now I want you to do it 2 more times. 2 more times. Total of 1 minute. Ready? Breathe in on 4. Hold it 4 seconds. Breathe out your nose for 4. Breathe in on 4. Hold for 4. Breathe out for 4. How do you feel? I'm serious. Put 2 fingers on your wrist. You're a little bit calmer, aren't you? That is the gateway into healthier living and meditation. Now, I want you to take a second that we're in this calm state and visualize the life you desire. I want you to be as specific as possible. I want you to try and back engineer it by imagining the steps between where you are today to that final destination. I'm going to play some motivational music for 3 minutes. Wow. I think that some of you guys have amazing goals, but I want to teach you a little something right now. You may think that that goal is a habit. It's not. It's a goal. Your habits are the steps you're going to take to get you there, the things that you do every day to make your life better, to make your job better, to make your relationship better. It's just a mindset shift for you guys. Let's give you an example. You've heard of New Year's resolutions. I'm going to get into shape. Who has heard that one? How many of you have joined a gym in January, went for a couple weeks, maybe, and paid for that gym for a lot longer? A lot of you. And the reason is your goal is awesome to get into shape. But what you haven't done is you haven't taken the time to break it down, to clear time in your schedule, to leave a pair of sneakers and gym clothes in your car, and the 6 other steps that you need to be consistent in that action to make it become the habit. That's what actually gets that goal accomplished. Make it easier to do the new habit by removing as many obstacles as possible. Check out my YouTube on New Year's resolutions or James Clear's book for more depth. Who liked that? Accountability is the next step. None of us is 100% accountable to ourselves. That is why so many of us post our resolutions on social media. The better way? Have a friend, coach, or mentor hold you accountable. Drop a yes or no in the chat if you have that person in your life. If not, we will cover that more on day 3. Your inner voice, your fast track to transformation, is your I am statements. Sad to say, all of us talk to ourselves in the worst possible way. Who has called themselves stupid or worthless this week? When I had a mini crisis on Sunday, I skipped right into thinking the three best possible outcomes. Yes, I was in a challenging situation, but beating myself up about it was not going to get the situation turned around. I had a plan A, B, and C mapped out, and it turns out that part of that plan C became plan D, the solution. So if we can admit to doing something stupid instead of calling ourselves stupid, we will be so much better off. We all do boneheaded things from time to time. Hopefully, less and less as you age or after this training. You are not stupid. Stop that self-talk today. What would a positive reframe statement be to my or your latest crisis? Let's take a couple of minutes to write some out, and then I will share. I wrote down. Number one, things usually work out for me. I say that all the time, especially when I am in a crisis situation. I see the cue coming, and that's the first thing that I say. The second thing, if I don't come up with a good couple of choices of what to do, I say out loud, I am not afraid to ask for help. This is one of the truly amazing things that you can do in your life that you don't do as often as you should. Other people probably come to you for help. Try calling one of those people up today and to help you with one of your challenges. You're going to see immediately. Does anyone want to share one of theirs in the chat? Cool. Great stuff. Other people's opinions. Is it your mom, your sister, a little boy who has never talked to you? Once we love ourselves enough, we stop worrying about that quite simply. My mother was the queen of no, as are many parents, but she took it to the next level. As a small child, I just assumed that's how life went. When I figured out that she was the most depressed person I had met in my life, I started to make some changes. Her opinions were just that, opinions, not facts. And I started meeting other adults who encouraged me to take educated risks. I started hanging out with other adults. I had adopted a series of mothers for probably the next 30 years of my life. Women who gave me decent guidance. Women who told me that I was smart. women who encouraged me to try new things and gave me some feedback when, if and when they didn't succeed. That's the way our parents should be. Not all of our parents are that way. So this is something we learn. This is something we need to change. Everyone has someone someone like that, unfortunately, in your life. We need to start gently giving those people less time and giving people who are encouraging us more time. So the takeaway from this: nothing changes if we do the same old, same old. Every great opportunity in your life is going to start at least a step out of your comfort zone. So for this exercise, we're going to write down 2 opinions on what you think someone else thinks about you. And then we're going to write down why it should not determine your next action. Here's 2 challenges for you. It's a challenge, right? You're supposed to be able to not only work during the training part, but to do a couple things today to reinforce this, to buy in a little bit more. So if you implement this one life-altering thing today, your life will have already begun to transform you into the direction you desire. So your second part of this challenge: go onto your favorite social media channel and talk about the one opinion that you think, you don't have to identify the person, someone will have about you that has kept you from changing your life. This is super powerful. Please tag me so I can follow you on your journey. Day 1, what do you guys think? Pretty cool, right? We've got a lot done. This is a super intensive training. I'm not going to extend classes. I try to get things done in 30 minutes or so because I know how busy you are and I know you need the time. So tomorrow we will have a quick review and reinforce and replace some better habits for your bad habits. As always, thank you for the time and the work. I'm Coach Ronald. My practice is called Success Syndrome Catalyst Coaching, Consulting, and Speaking. I need to shorten that. I will tell you a little bit more about that on day